olden days, elephant had no its trunk. All of you think about it. Oh, really funny, right? Welcome back to English class. Today we're gonna learn an interesting story of an elephant. And the title of the story, Golu grows a nose. Golu grows a nose. So shall we start? Get ready, take your English textbook, page number 30. Page number 30, lesson 5, Golu grows a nose. Long, long ago, the elephant had no trunk. They had only a bulky nose as big as a boot. He could wiggle it from side to side but couldn't pick up things with it. So in olden days, elephant don't have nose. Instead, they had only a bulky nose there. And they used to wiggle like this. They can't pick up anything with that nose. But now we can see trunk, and they do many works using that trunk, isn't it? And they are not able to pick up anything using that nose. It's a bulgy nose like a boot. Okay. Then there was a baby elephant called Golu. He too had no trunk but only a bulgy nose as small as boot. Golu was full of questions. Golu was a naughty one who was full of questions. And he asked his tall aunt ostrich, "Why don't you ever fly like other birds?" And Golu's tall aunt was ostrich, and he asked the ostrich that, "Why don't you ever fly like other birds? Why can't you fly like other birds?" Then next question he asked his tall uncle giraffe, and his tall uncle was giraffe, and he asked giraffe that, "What makes your skin so spotty? Your skin seems to be very spotty. What's the reason behind that?" Then next question he asked to his huge uncle hippopotamus. Hippopotamus was his huge uncle. "Why are your eyes always so red? Why your eyes seems to be so red all the time?" He asked his hippopotamus huge uncle. The next question he asked his hairy uncle baboon. Have you heard about baboon? Baboon is one of the species of monkeys. And Golu asked his hairy uncle baboon that, "Why do melons taste like melons?" Then again next question. Why do melons taste like melons? What's the reason? These are the questions that Golu asked his uncle and aunt. Then the ostrich, giraffe, the hippopotamus and the baboon had no answers to Golu's questions. Golu is a naughty baby, they said. He asked such different questions. And all his cousins replied that Golu was very naughty and he always used to ask such naughty questions. And he asked such difficult questions all the time. Then one day Golu met the myna bird sitting in the middle of a bush, and he asked her, "Why does the crocodile have for dinner?" The myna said, "Go to the banks of the great grassy Limpopo river and find out." Then one day when Golu was walking on the forest, he saw myna who was sitting there. Then Golu asked the myna that, "What does the crocodile have for his dinner today?" Then the myna replied that, "If you want to know, just go to the Limpopo river bank. The crocodile is there. You can ask him directly." Golu went home. He took 100 sugar canes, 50 dozen bananas and 25 melons. Then he said to his family, "Goodbye, I am going to the great grassy Limpopo river. I will find out what the crocodile has for dinner." He had never seen a crocodile and didn't know what one looked like. Then after that, Golu went to his home and he took some sugar canes, 50 dozen bananas and 25 melons, and he told his parents that, "I am going to the great Limpopo river. I want to see who was this crocodile. I want to see him." But actually, Golu don't know who was this crocodile. He have never seen this crocodile before. So he was very eager to see crocodile. Then he met a python and asked him, "Have you ever seen a crocodile? What does he look like? What does he have for dinner?" Then on the way, then Golu decided to went to that crocodile. Then on the way, Golu met an python. Python means a snake. And on the way, Golu met a snake and he asked the snake, "Have you seen that crocodile? And can you say what he have for his dinner today?" The python uncoiled himself from the branch of a tree but said nothing. Golu politely helped him to coil around the branch again and said goodbye to him. Note down the word uncoiled. Uncoiled means Coil means curling. That means twisting. The python was twisting on a branch and then he was trying to coil again in that branch. Then Golu helped him to curl on that branch. The next part, Golu moved on eating sugar canes, bananas and melons. After a few days, he reached the very edge of the great grassy Limpopo river. On the bank of the river he saw a log of wood. Log of wood means a branch of wood he saw there. And finally, Golu reached the great Limpopo river. Then he saw there some branches of trees there. It was really the crocodile who winked at him. "Excuse me," said Golu, "have you ever seen a crocodile?" The crocodile winked again and lifted half his tail out of the mud. "Come here, little one," said the crocodile. "Why do you ask such questions?" Then there Golu saw someone winked at him. What do you mean by this winking? Winking means closing eyes speedily, like this, winking the eyes, okay? Then someone winked at Golu. Then Golu was confused. Is that crocodile who winked at me? Then Golu asked the crocodile that. "I am here to see crocodile." Actually, that crocodile was on the mud. And Golu asked the crocodile, "Have you seen this crocodile?" "I am here to meet that crocodile. Actually, I want to see that crocodile." Then the crocodile replied him that, "Hey, little one, come closer. I will tell you who's this crocodile." Then, "I want to know. Come close, little one, for I am the crocodile." And he shed crocodile tears to show it was quite true. Golu was afraid, but he sat down on the bank and said, "You are the very person I was looking for. Please tell me what you have for dinner." Then the crocodile replied Golu that, "Yes, I am the crocodile." Then, "Come, little one, come little more closer." But by seeing this crocodile who was on this mud, Golu was little afraid. But Golu sat on the bank of the river and this crocodile was saying to Golu that, "Hey, little one, come closer." Then Golu also asked crocodile that, "Hey, crocodile, actually I was looking for you and I want to know what you have for dinner today." Then, "Come here, little one, and I will whisper the answer to you," said the crocodile. Golu put his head down close to the crocodile's snout and crocodile caught him by the nose. Then the crocodile tell him that, "Hey, little one, come closer. I'm gonna tell you what I have for dinner today." Then crocodile told him that, "I will whisper you. I will tell you what I have for this dinner. I will tell you secretly. Come here closer." Then Golu gone like this to hear what he was saying. Then at that time, something happened there. That crocodile caught the nose of Golu. Snout means the projecting nose of Golu. At that time, the crocodile suddenly caught the snout, that projecting nose of Golu. Then, "I think," said the crocodile, "today a baby elephant will be my dinner." Then the crocodile told Golu that, "I think today I have a small elephant as my dinner. I have you as my dinner." Then, "Let me go, you are hurting me, Mr. Crocodile," screamed Golu. With pain, Golu started screaming, Oh, it's really paining. Please leave my nose." Golu started crying. Then the python, who had been quietly following Golu, came to the bank and said, "If you do not pull as hard as you can, the crocodile will drag you into the stream." Then actually the python was actually following Golu silently, and the python told Golu that you have to stretch as much as you can, otherwise you will fall down to the stream and that crocodile will definitely eat you. So you have to drag as much as you can. Actually, the crocodile caught the nose of that elephant and python gave necessary instructions. Golu sat back on his little haunches and pulled and pulled. The crocodile slipped into the water, making it all creamy with great sweeps of his tail. And he also pulled and pulled. Then the python coiled himself around Golu's stomach and said, "Let's pull harder." Then what happened? Yes, there happened something. Actually, crocodile caught his nose and he was pulling with all his strength. And at the same time, Golu was pushing himself to the other opposite side. Then what does the python do? Yes, the python coiled around the Golu's stomach and the python was also pushing at the opposite side with all his strength. Then the python also told Golu that, "Yes, let's pull harder as much as we can." Golu dug in all his 4 legs in the mud and pulled. The nose kept on stretching. At each pull, the nose grew longer and longer and it hurt Golu. The nose was now 5 feet long, but it was free at last. One side we can see crocodile. Here Golu and python was pushing harder and harder. In each pushing and pulling, the length of the nose increases to 5 feet long, and at last he was freed. Golu sat down with his nose wrapped up in banana leaf and hung it in the great grassy Limpopo river to cool. Golu sat there for 2 days waiting for his nose to cool and to shrink. It grew cool, but it didn't shrink. And now Golu's nose was long. It's 5 feet, right? Then he wrapped his nose with banana leaf, and he also took 2 days rest to shrink. Shrink means to decrease the size of that nose, and he took rest 2 days. But what happened? Yes, the nose didn't shrink. The size was still there. At the end of the second day, a fly came and stung Golu on the shoulder. Golu lifted his long nose and with it hit the fly dead. And after 2 days, Golu was sitting like this. Then here comes a fly his shoulder. Then suddenly Golu hit that fly using his trunk. Then the python said, advantage number 1. Golu can hit the fly easily with his trunk. Then number 1, the first advantage is, yes, Golu can hit the flies using his trunk. Golu put out his trunk and plucked a large bundle of grass. He dusted it against his forelegs and stuffed it into his mouth. Then Golu put out his trunk and plucked a large bundle of grass. He dusted it against his forelegs and stuffed it into his mouth. Then after that, Golu plucked a bunch of grass from near that Limpopo river, and with his trunk he easily ate that. And the python told, advantage number 2, Golu can pluck large bundle of grass with his trunk. Then the second advantage is that he can easily pluck out these huge bundle of grass, bananas using his trunk easily. That was advantage number 2. Golu scooped up some mud from the bank and slapped it on his head. Advantage number 3. Golu scooped up some mud from that Limpopo river and he slapped into his head. And the python sniffed. Advantage number 3. Golu scooped up mud and can easily slap it with his tongue. That means he can scoop up anything like this mud, anything using his tongue. That was advantage number 3. Then at the end of the story, thank you, Mr. Python, said Golu gratefully. I will remember all this and now I will go to my family. Then at the end of the story, Golu thanked that python because that python saved this Golu from the crocodile. And this is the story of Golu, who was a naughty elephant. The story was written by Rudyard Kipling, who was a well-known writer. That's all for today. Bye.